Okay. Awesome. So the Makigao game, definitely one of the most interesting, a very unexpected choice, not taking the pawn on h6. And so we have a deep think by the former national champion, actually the current national champion, and the current highest rated by the World Chess Federation in terms of local standings. Just off Europe, whooping guys there. Went there when he was sub 2100 and now he's at 2113. Really doing well. Got his title, I think, this year as CM, the cadet master. One of the great successes of the federation. Now, there's some pressure here. It should be noted, by the way, with some sacrifices that could be quite nasty at the right time, not currently. So it is now how to find a way to take advantage of the fact that the pawn on h6 is not taken. The king is very, very airy, as Kenneth Amol likes to say. And we can now move on to any other game that is showing progress. We got the Mehul game versus Kenneth Amolo. Let's see if we can find that real quick. I think that's where we go, then we go here. Not actually a fan of chess.com, not very intuitive, but let's see where it's at. So we can just go a few moves back. I think we left at this point where the king had moved to h8, and then the knight maneuvered to f1, then rook g1, sorry, rook g8, then knight to g3. And the engine was suggesting push the pawn to f5. At first I thought it was slightly problematic, but no, because everything up here is protected. Then it was pushed, and the queen came through, and a very, very precise move, because apparently you don't need to fear f4, but the engine agrees. So f4 was played, rook takes was played, and there's no loss in the knight being taken because you have your own rook which is in free. So very, very interesting to see what happens next. Was there some, let's see if there were any more moves. No more moves played. Time situation, we've got Mehul with 40 minutes, Kenneth Amolo with 60 minutes. So quite a time pressure for him. Yesterday, he almost lost a certain game, ended up drawing after he made a for oversight with the pawn. And Mehul yesterday was definitely losing against Morgana, and then go back to winning, and then unfortunately found a way to lose. So very, very interesting. Let's see how that develops. The game I can see, Nicole Albright, I can see it's almost all black in terms of evaluation, meaning that she's really crushing the opponent. But we've seen that pressure coming. Let's see. So my co-competitor is back. So you can see Nicole is basically all but won here. Yeah, when you see 9.5, the engine say 9.5. Yeah, it means
wow,
score sheets need to be signed. Yeah, score sheets need to be signed. So let's see what went down. And this is quite sad because I was really I'd really hyped up Nicole, Kimani, in the WhatsApp groups, because she's one of those players who is quite strong. Maybe some nerves have affected this tournament performance, or maybe, I don't know, maybe she was slightly less prepared or something. This did not go well with her. Yeah, because after those beautiful exchanges that we had calculated, knight takes, then bishop, the pawn gets doubled, then she trades one of the rooks, which was her only chance of counterplay. Maybe she was trying to stop the two pigs coming up. Like we called a pig on a rook on the seventh, a pig. Yeah. Trying to stop that, but it was a devil nonetheless. Because if you didn't do that either way, you're either going to face two pigs on seventh rank or be down a pawn. Not good choices. And once the rooks are traded, unfortunately now there's almost zero counterplay for white because it's really hard. Much as the engine is saying it's only minus 1.1, how do you find that minus 1.1 here? How do you find that resilience to not instantly lose?
And also, I think just the pawn on e4 is more of a problem for white than for black. I mean, if you offered white to remove that e4 pawn, he would gladly do it.
For sure. So now you see after the rook takes and then the rook goes up there, the king correctly moves towards the rook, then instantly tries to raise the weaknesses on the queen side by moving this away. Next would be to evacuate the other pawn. The rook comes in, but then this is accepted. And
you removed the pressure.
was it really necessary to? What was so wrong with? Maybe Nicole didn't want to keep babysitting the b6 pawn. Yeah.
So I mean, bishop f1 is the best move, but we don't understand why. Okay, I think
you just have to find a way to reroute to c4.
If you can trade the a pawn for the b pawn, it's okay. But
so
based on what Kim Wanjiru did, I think she traded the a pawn for the c pawn, which is not accurate.
Yeah, the engine was trying to get this and this, so that the rook could coordinate on here, f7, and maybe start taking these pawns and something.
And other than that, I mean, taking on a2 now trades the a pawn for the b pawn.
True.
And that's an improvement, I think.
Yeah, because what happened next, unfortunately, as in, it's now she played it a bit too late. Now.
Yeah, it's not.
Because that pawn, she played it a bit too late. Because now this rook is a little bit. Actually, I'm not even sure which one is better. Is it rook b2 or?
Yeah, I think rook b2 is also a move.
Yeah, as in all moves are winning. You can see the engine is saying rook times f2 is
still winning.
Oh wow! Look at this disrespect, guys. The engine is saying you can even maybe you can make the moves.
Okay,
this is disrespectful.
There's a very weird move here.
Look at that move.
I mean, you make this move, you're supposed to stand up and kick your opponent. If it's allowed.
That is disrespectful.
If it's allowed.
Because look at that.
I mean, rook f2 is just after this, you're told, okay,
and your knight is the hero because you can't do nothing.
Stop my pawn from promotion.
Oh my!
I dare you. So probably after that, maybe you're not even supposed to capture it. I think you're supposed to go something like bishop c4. But either way, you lose the piece now.
Yeah.
Because now you're down a piece. Probably, okay, you can't hold this unless you know your opponent, but you can't hold this. Especially considering all these players qualified to be in the nationals, this can't be even a debate of who will win this position.
True.
Yeah. So at this point,
so you can just keep moving forward. Yeah. So a bit of dance, a little bit. Then I think she now played a2.
An expansion, a2.
And then now the knight just comes in, right?
Yeah, knight. Okay.
And then now you can take the rook.
Bishop.
Oh yeah, you can take the bishop. Sorry.
I mean, if you take the bishop, I just promote, of course, but you don't have any other good option. So she takes, instead she decides to take on a2.
And yet,
the rook moves away.
Nice. Rook shopping for the next pawn.
Yeah. Knight d3. Rook.
Wow.
And that trade happens.
That trade must have been very painful. Not all trades are equal, guys.
Yeah. And now the knight sits on d4. Wow. Okay. So in this position, I think probably she's in her resignation stages, or she's already resigned.
Yeah, she's finding the resign button somewhere.
Okay.
Okay, so we can now move to. Bella already won that one. Mataiga versus Pagana is very equal, very interesting.
Karanja either versus Cassidy. Karanja, I can see Karanja started rallying back.
Karanja, where is the game?
Ether versus Cassidy.
And she needs this win. Yeah, yes. You want to come?
Yes.
Oh, for sure. So Daktari wants to come and
join us.
For sure.
So what happened here was that we left the position when Cassidy was kind of attacking on the king side, and she had some kind of a small edge, if not even like massive advantage, because like after this it's almost one-way traffic. The black's attack on the king side should be fast enough. But
actually,
I think,
let's just ask Daktari.
Okay, what's your evaluation of this?
Would you imagine? Actually, let's move a little bit forward. Would you imagine after this that black would be in trouble later on?
Let's see.
Yeah, would you believe it if?
So let's test our theory.
Okay.
So the first thing that you're looking at is material. Material is equal, right?
Material is equal.
So the second thing we look at is development, and we say that white is far ahead in development. So the first thing is that this guy is not developed, not developed. This guy is an unemployed rook.
Yeah,
This
unemployed
is
rook.
like, I don't know what country this is. You have a rook, the rook is unemployed.
Yeah.
Unemployment is bad in real life.
True.
It's also bad in chess.
True.
And this is not the rook's fault, by the way. This is
True.
the government. This government's fault. So
So the queen is
who's playing black, but they've not looked.
So the queen should be held accountable, or the king.
The
queen.
government.
No, when you generalize by saying the government, you need to. Who's the head of state? Is it in this situation? Who rules
these are all minions. These
Oh,
are all,
Speaking of, by the way, on that, by the way, he's a dad to daughters and a real supporter of girls in chess and women in general. I was very surprised and let's say pleased to discover that Namibia not only has a female president, a female deputy president, the chief of staff is female, and 50% of the cabinet is female. So shout out to Namibia for that. But anyway.
Anyway,
that's a very, wait, this guy
Yes.
is just kind of statistic like that.
No.
Chuba, life is not just about chess. Can you hear what has happened in Namibia? Do you know the GDP of Namibia?
I don't know.
Do you know the per capita GDP and the kind? Those people are in a good position,
Okay.
and we have to appreciate the leaders.
That's for sure.
Yeah, the government is doing
How about
a good job.
economically? What's the GDP?
Very good, very good. I mean, just look it up. But that, I mean, yeah, looking for us.
Yeah, I'm looking for
Namibia
the
is
data.
Really is doing well. By the way,
You see,
they had
the base government is currently led by its first female
check the
president.
GDP. compared
GDP.
to other
Yeah,
countries.
you see,
economy?
vice president is also female. Speaker is also
National
female.
Assembly. It's quite.
Yeah,
They're doing well. Of course, the
actually
areas
even
where Kenya is
Senate ministers, women.
60% of the cabinet. Are they happy?
That's the question is, are they happy?
Back now let's not make
Oh,
Alan
my.
happy, but Alan should be happy to hear that the
No.
countries
Okay.
support women. You should be happy. Just accept that.
I'm not unhappy.
You cannot hang.
I'm not unhappy. Let's put that into context first.
Displayed unhappiness is on screen.
I'm not unhappy.
It's there for people to say, guys, comment.
I'm not saying I'm happy.
Actually, it's not even
That's
us.
up for-
If they
I'm
are-
not saying I'm happy, but I'm not unhappy either.
You're not-
I'm just skeptical on why we are so much embracing this thing of women having 60%. Okay, I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just wondering
He's been pulling his hands. What you want?
Do you know
What
in
you
my
want?
family,
yeah.
do you know what percentage of children are women in my family?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the subject.
Okay.
Please educate your brother. Take some time. And you really shouldn't hang out with Ian King here and you have failed to acquire some kingly qualities.
Okay.
Yeah, so just learn passive. It's by osmosis. You learn a couple of things.
It's okay.
Yeah, Alan, thank you very much.
It's okay,
Now
it's
back
okay.
to this position.
Sure.
I think that we have a simple test for assessing whether position is better or not.
True.
And we'll test it from this position, see who's better. So number one, we look at material. There are a couple of factors. First is material, material is equal. Second thing we're looking at is development. And we are saying that black is 1, 2, 3 moves behind. Actually 4, because the queen is just not developed. He has only 2 pieces out of the initial 8 in the background that have been developed. Okay, and you can argue castling was a developing move as well. Okay, so let's look at the next thing, which is a pawn structure. Now, I would say that as much as the pawn structure, there's no clear pawn weaknesses, and there's no real. Or you'd argue that maybe this light squares for white for black a little bit weak, but fortunately he still has the light squared bishop. So the pawn structure, I would give it a draw, though someone may argue that black looks optically a little bit better, right? We are not discussing space much, but clearly black has more space on the king side, and white has more space on the queen side.
Okay.
The other thing that we're looking at is then king safety, and they automatically. I mean, who's king is safer here? Alan, let's check whether you've been learning.
Okay, to me, I would say black's king is slightly safer.
Yeah.
Let's say for white because of
king.
the shelter.
Yeah, of course. So for this particular one, you can see this king is much safer. The pawns are just next to it. You don't want to move the pawns in front of your king. Black has reinvented chess. Okay, sorry, Elizabeth, it's just for fun, not anything particular. But you move too many pawns in front of your king.
So
now this can work.
Okay,
If
let me
this-
just interrupt you a little bit.
Before we come to
Oh,
that.
okay.
Before, this is like a flank attack, right?
True.
The flank attack, when does it work? When the center is closed.
True.
But this center is not closed.
True.
This center is free. And secondly, black doesn't have enough attackers. Now this king, yes, it's covered by the pawns, very okay. And it's also covered by 7 pieces. Okay, not 7, 15 pieces. I'm exaggerating. I've used 15, so the example is very clear.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so this king is less safe, Alan. You wanted to dispute, go ahead.
I'm seeing like, okay, safety, first of all, how are you attacking that king?
It's not about how you're attacking, that's what's gonna come. But just believe, just trust the process. You know, this is the challenge with a certain, trust the process.
Okay.
The fundamentals.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, the fundamentals are this, that this king is a bit airy. And in terms of king safety, think about airiness. Okay. Now you're right, because a weakness is only a weakness if you can exploit it.
If you can exploit it.
So if, for example, these pieces were traded off, these 3 guys, then suddenly I would even say that black is better. Okay. Although the advanced pawns sometimes can be weak if, you know, something can't be done about it.
Okay.
But these guys are still there.
Yeah.
Do you know what a fair is?
Yeah.
What is a fair?
Kaleka kitu kwaku.
Kaleka kitu.
It's a catapult.
Catapult, yeah.
It's a catapult.
I like that, very descriptive.
So what you can do is you can pull it back.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like anything's happening, but when you release it moves. So these are the pieces. That's what they're doing. They're all developed. The other thing you're looking at is a piece activity. Okay. And you can argue that this is inactive. Okay, this is active from a distance. Inactive. Doing very little. This is well developed. This is fairly okay, but blocked by its own pawns. Let's compare that. Not active much, not much active, but of course doing something in terms of keeping this safe. Is under attack right now.
Okay.
This has some activity controlling the center, some activity, rooks are connected.
Yeah.
So strategically, I would say that white is better, and I hope I've explained why.
Yeah.
That's the case, and those are the principles you're looking at. I think what you've not looked at here is the pawn structure we looked at, the knight outpost. So if you have a knight outpost, you know, that's very nice. Now this knight would be very happy in this position. Unfortunately, at some point in life, things happen.
True.
This kind of thing can happen, and that night will feel okay. Maybe I wasn't so set after all. I need to look for a different home. This home doesn't fit. So those are some of the factors. Now, going to white. White does have the e4 square. This move looks like a good move. This move looks like a good move, but in reality, it's a pretty bad move because what it does, it gives up this very important square and gives up lots of center control. So. And I think that's probably why you find a situation where white is fairly okay in this position. I would say, now, that's strategically. Then the second part of initiative and tactics. The initiative has its own benefit. You may actually have a situation where, because of so much space against this king, and all these pieces coming into attack, you don't need the rook. This was there for sure. For sure, yeah, just sure. So then now you have to calculate, because you may say all these things strategically and say that white has a strategic position.
94, 94.
But this attack has to be calculated, and if you make a mistake, you can get into trouble. Okay, I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah. So life went on, of course, as usual. Bishop h2.
Wait a minute. What should have been done here? Let's see. Should you have taken?
No, b4 was better.
B4 immediately.
Yeah. You counter strike, but of course it looks like a computer line. I don't know. B4, E4, because B4, black has to ignore you and play E4 also.
Because if they move back?
Okay, so this is it. The computer is like, go B4.
B4, okay.
Then it says black should go.
First, let's take your bishop.
So
although the bishop is not being much.
You can take it, of course, knight. Okay, or you can move your knight, but okay, taking this bishop does not look that interesting because of, I think you take the knight and
now every other feature. Okay, take this pawn on f2.
Take pawn on f2. I think rook takes.
Rook takes. And now there's really nothing. There's no attack.
Yeah, there's no attack. So the idea is that
weaknesses.
Yeah. So the computer just ignores you also and says, okay, you go b4, I go e4 again. At some point. And now after knight d4, that's when I think the capture starts. Okay, of course fg3, sorry, and now you go bc5, and of course now you've gotten rid of. You've opened up lines again against, not against, but in aid of defending.
Yeah, not only that, but also pawn structure has changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
And when the pawn structure changes, you realize that now white has certain weaknesses. Yeah. White has 3 pawn islands. White has a pawn that's potentially backward okay, it's actually backward on e3, but not easy to attack. Yeah. And also isolated pawn on a4. So that pawn structure has changed quite a bit. So basically, these are the small things that become significant. Of course, you can't take the pawn on c5.
Yeah.
You can, but someone says you can. Maybe I think they should actually do it because your pawn on e4 doesn't look like it's going to survive for long.
That loses to 96.
And 96.
Okay, not loses, but it gives away a lot of advantage.
Actually, it loses because after takes.
Okay, you've lost one of your attackers, I think. This bishop is usually crucial in these kinds of King's Indian.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, actually, you don't pick it back. What? Then you want to go rook f8 first.
Okay, take this guy.
And after queen f8. Now
Yeah, that's the only you can take.
So you displace the queen first before taking the knight.
And the idea being?
I mean, after knight c6, probably you just take the e4 pawn or something.
Okay.
Yeah, queen takes e4. Yeah. And the game continues, but
yeah, and you pawn up and
I thought you should.
You have a weird
because
pawn.
the queen here.
This
then
pawn
after
might be
bishop-
weak, but black has to spend some time to pick it.
Do you
pick it up.
blockade with the knight there? Oh, but I know it is.
I don't know. I think the pawn is just, as much as the pawn still survives, black is not feeling comfortable and has to spend time capturing that pawn.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that was with the...
So let's see how Ether came back, because things looked very scary at some point.
So either went bishop g3, and after f4, went back, bishop h2. Now queen e7 by Cassidy, b4 by Ether now, knight a6, and knight e4. So up to this point, do you think there has been an improvement?
There has been for sure, because remember what he said was that the e4 square is very weak,
Yeah.
and that e4 square suddenly
It's being utilized.
yeah, so perhaps instead of moving the knight back to a6, first of all, a6 takes the knight really, out of. There's a game that's over, I see.
Yeah, we have a result.
You have a result.
Howie versus McLeod.
They're both smiling. Is that a draw?
But were they playing each other though?
You are playing each other, yes.
Yeah.
They're very happy, and it looks like that's a
That looks like a draw, yeah?
May I see what's the one?
Oh, it is a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw.
So where were we on this?
Yeah.
No, this is the one.
No, not that one. Back. Karanja Ether versus...
I shall excuse
It was Karanja either?
myself. So that at least one person has a mic or something.
Sorry, where is
Can we
the-
call one of them?
Yeah, we can call both of them.
Howie,
Where is it?
would you be open to joining us here? Okay.
Yeah, actually, come
Actually,
over,
both of them.
you guys. Both of you guys come over.
You'll take it over, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
But where's the game? Say what again? Just have a seat.
So you click here,
One moment.
and then you find the game. You can have a seat.
How does this? How does this work?
So
Harvey.
take it.
Yeah.
Then you put here. Then you look for the magnet. There you go.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. How is you?
Or maybe I'll start by asking, okay, guys, if you do not know the people who are here with us,
Which
my
book is
right
this?
is the reigning national chess champion, winner of the last car. How is your hat?
It's good.
Now, we won your car before you were 18.
No, I was 19.
No, you're not 19.
I was
But you didn't have a
19.
driving license.
Okay, I didn't have my license. Yeah.
So we're not going to ask whether you drove your car. How is your car doing?
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
And then there's another mic, please. Another mic. Then you were playing Howie.
Yes. Yes.
What was the expectation? Now, Howie, this gentleman
Yeah.
is the current youth champion, Kenya. And let me tell you, the strongest players in Kenya now are the youngsters, the youth.
Yeah.
There was a time that the number one player in Kenya was a 13-year-old, and the number one female was also a 13-year-old. So when Howie is the national youth champion, he's very scared. And as you play some masters in African Youth Chess Championship, and you've been playing very strong chess.
Yeah,
So I'm going to ask you this question, guys. Coming in to play Howie, what was the feeling? Were you
No, I mean,
expectation?
I thought it should be like a tough game. So I was actually expecting him to play the Sicilian. So I had like some surprise there, but
He dodged the
yeah, he dodged it. So
How you tell us about this and your preparation as well?
Yeah, of course. Okay, I didn't expect E4. Robert doesn't like playing E4 against me, but
yeah.
yeah, I knew he had something prepared, so I saw the bullets coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he plays e4 against me without hesitation, and then against you, he
Okay, no, because how he has memorized like every single line. So, I mean, unless you're going for like some tricky sideline, which is what I was planning to do, there's no point.
do you want to tell us your salary? You want to keep it in?
No, I'll keep
You'll
it for
keep
next
okay,
time.
fine.
Yeah.